Hi, welcome back. It's been a while. I feel like I haven't filmed in a bit, but coming back from the summer, start of school year, all sorts of shenanigans have happened. We had 2 days of online learning. It's been a couple of weeks. Let's just say that. So I haven't really sat down to film in a bit. So this video might be a little bit rough around the edges, not gonna lie, but I figured that the fact that Clionadh is starting their anniversary sale, they have such a high standing in the indie makeup space when it comes to multichromes. I know that a lot of people shop the anniversary sale with the intention of getting their feet wet with the brand and maybe getting a little bit of a discount on multichromes because, hey, multichromes are expensive. So I got my hands on the Dragonfruit palette a little bit earlier this year, and I haven't really played with it a whole bunch. So I figured this could be a good opportunity to do a palette showcase for the Dragonfruit palette, which is a Clionadh collaboration with Emily Violet Marie. I'm also gonna show you the 2 fruit lighters that I got with the collection because I got the entire collection, and the 2 nail polishes that come with it. So it'll be a little bit of a showcase video, and we'll also talk a little bit about the anniversary sale itself, since I do think that it's a good opportunity to get your feet wet with Clionadh. I know that, they have so much variety and so many beautiful shades that it can be kind of overwhelming. The Dragonfruit collection is still available. This is, however, the last restock, but it is part of the sale, if I'm understanding everything correctly. So today we're just going to kind of go warm and cool on the looks with the Dragonfruit palette. I'm gonna swatch every shade in my eyes and we're just gonna see how they look. And I hope to, not hurt my eyelids too much in the process. And then we're also gonna apply the fruit lighters, and I'll show you the nail polishes in a little bit of B-roll footage. I'm not going too crazy with my nails because I'm actually gonna get my nails done tomorrow. So we're not going too crazy with that here. So a couple of things that you need to know first about the anniversary sale with Clionadh. So first off, some things are available because they have them in stock, and other things are going to be available for pre-order. So that means that depending on the things that you buy, you might not get everything at the same time. In some cases, that could be a blessing in disguise. Girl math, I mean, you're gonna pay for everything when you pre-order, but you're spacing things out so you can use things as you get them in and all of that stuff. You can find all the information on logistics and shipping times and all of that for the anniversary sale on the Clionadh Instagram page at Clionadh Cosmetics. I'll leave all of that in the description box for your reference. Also, processing and shipping, they are expecting a high volume of orders. Of course, all their anniversary sales, things do sell out, okay? Things do sell out, and in fact, I think that some things are currently sold out on their website, which is why they are available for pre-order, because they don't have them in stock. They're getting a pre-order so that they know exactly how much to order and are not making crazy amounts of inventory, especially with these shades that are, they are expensive to make, and you see that reflected in the price. So with this, processing will be anywhere between 1 to 20 business days. So keep an eye out on your email, keep an eye out on your account so that you know exactly when your order ships out. Pre-orders are separate and are estimated to start shipping at the end of September. If any items are ready earlier than this time frame, we will ship ahead of schedule. So a lot of it is going to depend on the kind of inventory that they have available. And then of course, as things become available and are ready for shipment, then they're gonna go out. So it is entirely possible, depending on the size of your order and how many items are pre-order items, that you might end up getting a couple of shipments out. Just keep an eye out. So they do recommend putting together a wish list, kind of putting together a cart and seeing what it looks like, what's pre-order, what's available, and that sort of thing, so that you can also see what sells out before or during the time that you're placing your order. Okay, they also ask that if you have a Sezzle account and plan to use it, please switch your checkout to Canadian dollars. Keep that in mind. Clionadh is a Canada company. They also recommend that you add root protection to your shipment, to your order. And I would personally say the same thing. Again, shipping is not the same as it used to be. I feel like packaging and the high volume of shipments of everything means that, sometimes things are not handled as carefully, and these little shadows are so delicate. If you buy single shadows, it's gonna be like a tiny little thing. I mean, indie brands overall are really good at wrapping things really, really carefully so that they don't get damaged in transit, but hey, something to keep in mind, if you really want your order to get there with as much protection as possible, maybe adding rip protection is a good idea. It's a couple of dollars, I believe. I think it's like $1.50 usually. So something to think about. Other reminders, coupon codes do stack with the sale. So I don't personally have a code with Clionadh, but I have seen a couple of creators that do. If I remember correctly, Angelica Nikvis has a code with Clionadh. I think Samantha March has a code with Clionadh. Not sure about Rachel Palmieri. I can't quite remember right now, but I'll try to find a couple and put them in the description box so that you have the option of a couple of discount codes that you can stack on the sale, because saving money, hello, everybody likes to save money. Even the people that say that they don't like to save money, they like to save money. Everybody likes to save money, okay? However, if you have already placed an order, you cannot add a coupon after your order has been placed, okay? So keep that in mind. Just make sure that you think your order through, you run it through a couple of times, like you rehearse your card before you finally click checkout. Make sure that you check your address, okay, that your address is correct so that your order gets shipped to the right place. And of course, try to get your order as correctly as possible for the sake of making sure that everything comes in without major issues. Everything as far as the details on the anniversary sale is on the Clionadh Instagram page. The sale starts on August 23rd at 3 p.m. Eastern time and ends on September 3rd at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And of course, before we go into the actual eye swatches and everything else, this goes without saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway. You don't have to buy a single dang thing. You don't have to buy anything. I'm not buying anything on the sale because I bought the Dragonfruit palette like in April. And I haven't really used it that much because it was in the US in the summer and I didn't really use it that much in the summer. In fact, today is probably the day when I'm gonna use it the most other than swatching it. You can see swatches here on my Swatch Shorts playlist. I'll make sure to link it. But like I have quite a few shades here. The Dragonfruit palette has, here it is. You have 3, 8, 11 of these regular shadows, and then these two holographic kind of shades that I think are like kind of multitask shades, eyeshadow toppers / highlighters potentially. And this is plenty for me to play with for a little bit, especially considering that like they're almost all of them, they're either metallics or multichromes. Like these are pretty high impact shadows. So I'm personally not shopping the sale because I got this, but if you want to, the sale is there just because like Clionadh eyeshadows, they sell so well and they have such a high standing in the multichrome fandom, in the indie makeup fandom, that, the anniversary sale is a good moment to like get a good discount potentially. But if you can't, or you have your eye on other things, or you want to use up the makeup that you have or whatever, you don't have to buy anything. But since the sale was coming up and I hadn't really had a chance to play with this puppy, I figured it would be a good moment for a palette showcase. But I also wanted to tell you what's on my face, like what's the baseline, the canvas that we're using here. So very briefly, let's go over that. Oh, I left one thing in my bathroom. Okay, so primer, I'm using the One Size Secure the Glow Tacky Hydrating Primer. I really like this. It is less tacky than the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, but I actually feel like this holds makeup better and like provides like a more uniform base. And I feel like this is more hydrating than the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, which was like the last primer of this kind that I used. For foundation, I'm using the Urban Decay Hydromaniac Tinted Hydrator. I use the shade 15. I left it in my bathroom. I did mix it with the Say Super Glow Super Gel, in Sun Glow. This is supposed to be a highlighter, but for me, it's too dark to be a highlighter, so I'm using it as bronzing drops. That's where we're at. I'm using it as bronzing drops. I will say this, the texture is really interesting. It's very much like a gel. So in a way, it kind of makes your foundations and your tinted moisturizers and stuff a little thinner, which is not a bad thing. It doesn't really affect coverage, and I would say it doesn't make you super duper tan. I am a little bit more tan than usual because it's been, you know, it was the summer, whatever. But I wouldn't say that this will like make you super duper dark. I'm just using it as bronzing drops because it's too dark for me as a highlighter, and it's too golden like for my skin tone to be used as a highlighter that actually shows. So I'm mixing it with foundations that are a little bit more my winter shade, and it's been working well. This does have a really strong chemically smell, which I feel like it's odd for a clean beauty brand, and I was afraid that it had gone bad, but I haven't had any reactions, and it dissipates as soon as you apply it. Then for concealer, I'm using the very long ago discontinued Huda Beauty Overachiever concealer. I actually have hope now that I might finish this by the end of Q3, so by the end of September. It's a great product. It's made me appreciate high coverage concealers. I'm looking forward to being done with it just because I've had it for a really long time. For powder, I'm using my LYS Triple Fix powder. I use the shade Ambition, which is the medium tan shade. And look at that pan, baby. Look at that pan. I don't know if it's gonna be a Q3 empty, but I'm getting to the point where like it's really close to the corners and it's really hard to get the brush in there. I really don't want to repress it. I don't want to go through that. But because it's kind of hard to get to the corners, some of the corners crumble sometimes. So that's a thing, but pan, big pan, yay. Cheek products, bronzer, the never-ending, never panning, apparently, Charlotte Tilbury Cream Bronzer. I use shade 3. Shade 3? Yeah, shade 3, tan. There's a dip in there, but I don't know when I'm gonna hit pan on this. I check it from time to time to make sure that it's not drying down. It works beautifully. And then for the cheeks, so on each side, I have a different blush. They are the Rare Beauty matte liquid blushes. For the cool side, I'm wearing the shade Wisdom, and for the warm side, I'm wearing the shade Virtue. Hype worthy in every possible way. And then my brows, which are a little messy today, I feel like I need to kind of tighten things up a little bit. I'm just using the Benefit Gimme Brow Gel in shade 5. Let's get started. We're just gonna go kind of one and done route, but if I ever decide not to, then I might use some of the beige shades in my Danessa Meyer's Groundworks palette. We'll see. If I need to pull from that, then I will. Let's just go with a little bit of eyeshadow primer. I'm gonna use both of the primers that I have. So on the cool side, I'm gonna be using my Kokie Prep Up primer. I think I'm almost done with this little tube. I would absolutely repurchase it at another time, but I am very curious about the Alter Ego primer. So when I finish the Kokie, I think I might buy that one and try it out. So we're gonna use that one on this side. And then on the warmer side, we're gonna use the Kaleidos Tone Activator. Again, I've mentioned this before, I have to apply a tiny bit of it because it does have tint. So I also don't want it to like give me too much of a base, see? On my eye, so I have to apply a very thin layer. It is thicker and a little bit tackier than the Kokie, but I figured it could be a good idea to also show 2 different eyeshadow primers. So we shall see. It's just playtime, basically, just to show you the shades. On the warmer side, let's start with the shade Cactusy. I don't really know if I'm saying that correctly, which is a very bright lime yellow green. What kind of brush am I going to use for this? I think I'm going to use something like this flat kind of brush. This one is from e.l.f. And I'm just going to apply that right here. I know that these kinds of shades can be really intimidating for people. So today I'm going to go kind of like the one and done route just to show you how you can use all of these by themselves. And of course, should you buy any of these individually, because they are available individually, I think that right now not all of them are available as singles. You can also see like what they're gonna look like in the eye, you know what I mean? Definitely buildable. It looks like really silky and to an extent reflective on the eye. This would make a really fun inner corner highlight for sure. And that's the shade Cactusy. We might have to do a little bit of crease for the sake of definition. I'm actually gonna do that. I'm gonna use something not too dark. I think I'm gonna use the shade Sculpted, the powder here from the Denisa Meyer's Groundwork. I have to be very careful with these because they are, whoa, really pigmented, and I need a fluffier brush for that. Let's see here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, that's better. A little. That's the freaking powder. Maybe I should use the cream. No, we just need some patience. We just need patience. I should probably have gone lighter on that crease shade here. But this is like how I've been working with my eyeshadows lately. It's just been like 2 eyeshadows and done. I'm gonna give you again the disclaimer that I've given often in my channel. I'm not a makeup artist. Please don't come here for technique. If you come here for techniques, you're gonna be disappointed. I'm not a technique person, okay? I am not. I'm just here for playtime. But mostly, I just kind of wanted to like, yeah, give a little bit of definition here on the crease so that you can see what the shade looks like in contrast with other eyeshadows. And then let's establish that same kind of crease situation here. I'm actually using one of the Dragonfruit brushes for this from Clionadh itself. This is the DF02. I think that these are also available outside of the collection bundle, but you might have to check. I've been quite pleased with these brushes, honestly. They work pretty well. They're just eye brushes, and I think that one of them is a highlighter brush. Okay, so let's go with a cool toned one or a cooler toned one. Let's start, I think that this middle row, I think it's fair to say that is a little cooler toned. So we're gonna start with the shade Infusion, and I'm gonna actually apply this one with my finger. Ooh, that is a very pretty lavender. That's a very pretty lavender. I feel like these shades apply better with the finger than with a brush. I think it's a little easier to apply them with the finger, personally. There, let me just take the fluffy guy. The fluffy guy is Referral 13. To give a little bit of crease here. Again, it's just so that you can see what they look like with some contrast. Okay. So on this side, we have the shade Cactusy, which is that very bright green. On this side, we have the shade Infusion. Actually, that's quite pretty. That's quite pretty. Infusion especially. But this shade, like these bright greens, like that scares the bejesus out of me, but that's really pretty. That's really cool. Again, I haven't put these on my eyes. I'm out of my cellar water, so I'm using my Rachel Defee Thorn Milk to clean my eyes. Wish me luck. I really hope that I don't get like an eye infection or something. I hope not. Seems to be working okay. I don't have mascara or anything like that in my eyes, so. Okay. This is also like an accidental eyeshadow primer showdown. We're gonna go with Dragonfly in this eye, which is a slightly brighter green, but more like a true green. And then we're gonna move with Hyloceros. I don't really know if that's how you say that, which is this shade. So Dragonfly in this eye, I think we're gonna move to fingers. Oh yeah. This is a shade made for the Swamp Queen in you. So on these kinds of shades, like when I'm doing one and done eyeshadows, I go, and I'm going a little bit in the inner corner there, but I don't mind that. I try to kind of go higher on the lid so that you can see the whole situation, even with my slightly hooded eyes. There you go. That one is Dragonfly. See, this one is a little bit easier to see I'm just gonna clean the edges with a clean brush instead of adding a crease shade. This is Refer 15. Just to kind of diffuse the shade a little bit on top here. Okie doke. That's a very pretty shade. Needs to be cleaned up a little bit here. It's a tiny bit of fallout, not terrible. And then on this eye, we're gonna go with Hyloceros. I think that's how you say that. Which, is this our first multichrome? We'll find out. Kind of. At least it's kind of a duochrome. It's not a multichrome. There's a base here that is not like entirely the pink that you are seeing. There's some purple in there too. Diffuse edges with clean fluffy brush right here. See, these are like slightly stronger colors that give you an idea of like how these shades look and perform. So like this is a very easy colorful makeup. So I would add on both of these, actually, I would add like a navy eyeliner, something like Victoria Beckham Navy Noir, and you know, strong black mascara, good to go. But that's just me. Okay, so here we have Dragonfly and here we have Hyloceros, again, all from the Clionadh Dragonfruit palette with Emily Violet Marie. All right, round 3. We're gonna go with Fruit Fizz for the warmer side and Sweetened, which is, excuse me, this magenta, for the cooler side. Fruit Fizz reminds me of a shade in the Zendo palette from Natasha Denona. I think that shade is called Yama or Maya or something like that. I haven't played with my Zendo in ages. Oh, this is really subtle. Very subtle. Huh. Very, very subtle, at least on my skin tone. But yeah, like this is a really soft, like peach orange kind of shade. This is like orange for people that are scared of orange. See? Here I would add a brown eyeliner and like a brownish crease shade. Quick brush clean. And see, like this one on me, it disappears a little bit, so that I would use like the shade Core, the powder of the shade Core from Danessa Meyer's groundwork. That's what I'm gonna do here. Just for a little bit of extra structure on the crease, because on me, this shade is a little pale, so it gets a little lost in the shuffle. But this is proof that even with a colorful palette like this one that has so many like metallics and multichromes and stuff, you can create something soft like this. Like it's still possible. It's not gonna be all kapow in your face. It's not all scary. Let's move on to the shade Sweetened. This one. That's a powerful magenta. I can see that looking really, really cool in very deep skin tones. On this one, if I was adding an eyeliner, I would add a black eyeliner. Or even a green. Like if you had like an emerald green, I think something like that would look really, really pretty. This does require blending because the shade is so bold that otherwise it might look a little bit too messy. Right there. So yeah, I would do like a black eyeliner or like an emerald green eyeliner or even like a multichrome eyeliner like the Kaleidos ones, and the ColourPop also has them. Look at how different these two eyes are. Like this is a very bold eye. This would look really pretty, I think, with blue eyes. That's the shade Sweetened. And then this super soft look at that. Like that's a monochromatic look right here. And I used a shade from a multichrome palette. You know what I mean? Again, the shade Fruit Fizz. Like this is a monochromatic look right here. Easy. Fruit Fizz and Sweetened. I think the next one is gonna end up being also a little bit more everyday wearable look. because we're gonna be using 2 soft shades again, like some of the lighter shades. I do have eyelids that kind of have a lot of pigmentation on them, so it's actually not a bad idea for me to like add a little bit of base on them for the sake of making things a little bit more even. You know, you see shades like these and you're like, oh my God, I have to be an expert to use them. But I think that if I can do it and make them look relatively passable, anybody can, okay? It's okay. Makeup is supposed to be fun anyway, so. All right, let's go with Refresh over here and Strawberry Pear over here. We're gonna do Strawberry Pear on this side. This is what it looks like. Again, another kind of peachy shade. This one has more pigment than Fruit Fizz. So I could even see a look where you combine Strawberry Pear and Fruit Fizz together. And you do a little bit of a color gradient where you do like Fruit Fizz all over the lid, and then you do Strawberry Pear like on the crease and on the outer corner and like on the waterline, not the waterline, sorry, the lower lash line. I think that's entirely possible and would look really pretty. Bringing this a little bit higher up for a little bit of structure, but I am gonna add a little bit of structure with a crease shade. I'm gonna use Mirage. I think that might be too pale. Let's try Chiseled. Chiseled from the, no, that's too cool toned. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? Actually, let's try a little bit of Harvest. Just a tiny, tiny bit. Those Danessa Myricks eyeshadows are really pigmented, so you have to be careful. I mean, you saw it on the first one. This is also giving me a chance to play a little bit more with the powders in that Danessa Myricks palette, because I'm usually more inclined to play with like the cream putty shades. It's what I've used more. Oh, that's nice. I think it's nice. That doesn't look too bad. I like that. That's Strawberry Pear paired with the powder Harvest. So Strawberry Pear from Clionadh, and then on the crease, Harvest from Danessa Myricks Groundwork. That looks really pretty. I know that I've said that like about every shade, but I really think that they look pretty. And I feel like these are a lot more wearable than people might think they are. Then we're gonna put the shade Refresh on this eye. Oh, this is like, oh, this is great for like a very demure, very cutesy makeup. I kind of hate the way that this word is being appropriated right now and like used. I feel like it's a word that is just like used for like putting women down, really. You have to be more demure. I hate it. I hate it. It's a word that is used to like tell women that they have to be less, I feel like. So I don't really like the fact that like TikTok is making it a thing, but I overall hate TikTok, so whatever. Anyways, this is Refresh. I feel like there's a little bit of a weirdly sheer element there that gives it like holographic vibes. Not mad at it. See, I think that now maybe Chiseled could be a good idea because it's gonna have a little bit of gray, and I think that that would work okay with this shade. Yeah. It gives you crease, but not insane crease. Just a little bit. And yeah, it's gonna help you like kind of make that definition, but without making the crease too terribly accentuated. Haha. So cool. Okay. We have Strawberry Pear on this side, and then we have Refresh on this side. I actually think that both of these, in their own way, would fulfill that very demure, very cutesy thing that is going on. They're incredibly easy to play with, honestly. These are super, super easy to play around with. And if you like color and also like one and done shadows, I actually think that these shades in the Dragonfruit palette are a pretty good thing to have in your toolkit. If you just want like one thing, then you can buy the singles. But if you want a little bit of variety to play around and like combine with other less sparkly things that you may have in your collection, like this could be a good idea, you know? So this is where we are. I feel like the anniversary sale for Clionadh, I feel like it's starting to be a little bit of a kickoff to holiday sale season, or like fall winter sale season. I feel like holiday sets are starting to come out. Was it NYX that did something with Home Alone? It looks terrible in my opinion. I know that Lego is releasing a Nightmare Before Christmas set on September 6th or something like that, which I fully intend to buy, because then we can have it up all fall and all winter with like Halloween Town and Christmas Town. That will be really fun. For clarification, I buy the Lego sets and my husband builds them. I don't have the patience to build Legos, not gonna lie. Never did it when I was a kid. They were just not available to me. So I don't know, maybe it's something that I should try to pick up as an adult. Could be a good thing to like think creatively, or like think through the design thinking process or whatever. Anyways, let's go with Dragonfruit and Prickly. Yeah, so we're gonna go with Dragonfruit on this side. Dragonfruit is a multichrome. It's actually really similar to one of the nail polish shades. I think this one. Yep. And then Prickly is this very pretty violet. So we're gonna put Dragonfruit on this side. Oh yeah. Check it out. Oh, look. Again, you look at these shades in the pan and they look so scary. And then you put them on in the eye and they look so delicate. See, this is a shade that makes me think of stained glass, which is funny because like that's pretty much Clionadh's permanent line, is the stained glass collection. And it's like one of their, it's one of their best sellers. I'm gonna add, again, chiseled on the crease. It's one of those things where like, it looks really delicate on the eye. I would wear this if you want your makeup to be like kind of that glass skin makeup thing where there's a lot of shine. I don't know that I would call this a wet look eyeshadow, but it's pretty freaking close. I don't know, I think it's pretty close. It's really reflective and you still get like the different shifts, but this is like, see, this is a soft introduction to shifty shades. Let me just swatch it on my finger so that you can see some of the shifts. See? It's really reflective and you do get quite a lot of color and a lot of pigment, but it's a really transparent kind of base, or translucent kind of base, which I think makes it very, very approachable. Very approachable. Brown eyeliner, good to go, or like a really wispy mascara, kind of like Charlotte Tilbury push-up lashes, boom. Okay, let's go with Prickly. Prickly's gonna be an intense one. Look at that violet. But even then, this is a fairly pigmented shade, but if you don't wanna make it that pigmented, just pick up a little bit and work it with your finger, and it's not gonna be that crazy, see? Yeah. It's also like an instant nighttime look. You really don't need more. I mean, I would add like a black eyeliner. See? Ha ha ha. Black eyeliner, I would take that on the lower lash line too for like a monochromatic look in the eye. Or, wait. You could take, sorry, I'm trying to choose a brush. With this shade, you could take the shade Exotic and put it in the lower lash line. Oh, hell yeah. Ha 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 ha. Yes. Ha ha ha. Is that burgundy? No, it has too much pink to be burgundy, but look at that shade. That looks beautiful. That's a beautiful shade. That's a beautiful shade. So since the eyeshadows are in odd numbers, we're actually gonna wrap things up here. So we have, oh, I said Dragonfruit before. This is called Dragontini. We have Dragontini in this eye, And then on this eye, we have prickly all over the lid. And then we have exotic in the lower lash line. Let's try these two toppers, Bubbles and Effervescent. I'm gonna try Bubbles. How sparkly that is on this side. Oh, get out of here. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I applied a really thick layer. Oh man. So this is how you turn basically every eyeshadow in this palette into a multichrome. The purple's there. And of course, depending on the base color, these are gonna look different. You're gonna get a different shade out of these. Right now, what I'm seeing the most is green and blue, a little bit of pink. Oh, that changes everything on that eye, right? Oh, let me clean that crease. That looks messy. Oh, that's a little better. Yeah, these are quite, like they're very finely milled, but they have a lot of sparkle. Look how thin the sparkle looks. Like if you really wanna go thin with this, you just have to shear it out, but you're still gonna get a really cool shine. Let's try Effervescent on the other eye. I feel like the shades here are a little bit similar, so I'm not sure if it's gonna show. We'll see. No, it just amps up the glitter, the shine. But see, Dragontini and Effervescent are too similar to like go together and each shine on their own. I'm actually gonna swatch those shades next to each other. So see, the base is very similar in Dragontini and Effervescent. So these two don't bring the best out of each other. This has more pink, this is Dragontini. Effervescent has more peach. So you can use them together, but what's gonna happen is that when you put Effervescent on top of Dragontini, you're gonna lose some of the multichrome here, because the peach in Effervescent is gonna overpower everything else, which is what's happening with this eye. It still looks very pretty, don't get me wrong, it looks very pretty. You're gonna lose a little bit of that multichrome ability here. So what did we end with? We have Dragontini and Effervescent on this eye, and then we have prickly topped with Bubbles in this eye, and then exotic on the lower lash line here. I'm actually going to apply eyeliner and mascara so that we can wrap things up with this look. Apply the fruit lighters, and I'll show you the nail polishes one more time. So this is Victoria Beckham in Navy Noir, the Satin Kajal eyeliners. And then on the other eye, we're also going to apply the Satin Kajal eyeliner from Victoria Beckham, but we're gonna use the shade Cocoa. Mascara, we're gonna use the Benefit Roller Lash, which I am still testing. Really like the wand, not sure that the mascara gives me everything I want. Maybe I need more coats. And see, now it's gonna make me look terrible because today is giving me everything I want. Maybe it's one of those mascaras that just needs to be open to get good. I'm actually gonna leave the lower lash line without mascara because I think the eyeliner does enough. But these are the two looks that we're gonna finish with. Last but not least, we're going to apply the Clionadh fruit lighters. I have the two fruit lighters from the Dragonfruit collection. This is Tropico and this is Pitaya. However, Clionadh has expanded the fruit lighters line. So there are more shades now and they're all included in the sale. Both of these are multichrome highlighters. So now I don't only have the Kaleidos. Ha ha ha. And we're gonna try them both. Do I even have a highlighter brush I can use? Yesterday was brush washing day. We're gonna use a tiny eyeshadow brush and hope for the best. I'm just gonna apply very, very lightly. Ooh, we have some cleanup to do here. We're gonna apply Tropico on this side. This is a terrible idea. Please don't do this. Yeah, that's just a stripe. Terrible, absolutely terrible. So I'm gonna dab it with my finger. That's more like it. You get a little bit of green or gold and gold with this one. It's a manageable yellow. This is very imperfect makeup because I don't have all my tools with me. Again, yesterday was brush washing day. But we're making do with what we have, okay? I'm just trying to show you the highlighters. Oh yeah, that's very bright. There's some green there too. That's fun. And then for the other side, we're going to lightly dab pitaya, where you get more blue, teal. I feel like this is like more ocean colors. So cool. I would say you could absolutely wear both of these highlighters on the eyes. They actually say face, eyes, lips. So I'm guessing that the other thing that you could do is take a clear gloss and then dab it on top of your lip gloss. Do I have a clear lip gloss to show you? I came back with the brush that I used for powder before, just to kind of diffuse the lines in the highlighter. Okay, so these fruit lighters say that you can apply them on the lips. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a clear gloss. This is the Milk Makeup Electric Glossy Lip Plumper. Oh boy, I'm playing a dangerous game here. But it's a clear gloss, so I'm gonna use it for that purpose. See, it's clear. I'm not a huge lip plumper person because I don't feel like I need them. This one does tingle. It does give a plump. I feel like it does. I'm gonna use pitaya. I'm just gonna dab it on my lips and see what happens. Trying to not. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. Like if you wanted to go with a metallic lip, it's very out there. But if you wanted to try a metallic lip, you could. Very different. It's something that I would probably just do like just the lip and then everything else would be very neutral. But I mean, for a party or like a costume day or something, it could be cool. If you want to do something really, really different. Yeah, I can definitely see how these fruit lighters could work on the lips. I know that some people do that, like they use their eyeshadow on the lip with a clear gloss. I know that Jen Love does that a lot. So here is the completed look. We have tried every shade of the Dragonfruit palette on the eyes. We've also tried the 2 fruit lighters that came out with the Dragonfruit collection. And we've even tried one of those fruit lighters on the lips. Very out there for me, huh? Last but not least, Clionadh also has nail lacquers. They have nail polishes. These are the 2 that came out with the Dragonfruit collection. This is Pitaya, which is the same shade as that fruit lighter. And this is Dragontini, which is the same shade as the eyeshadow shade that is on the palette. This is what they look like in the hands. These are 2 coats. This is Dragontini and this is Pitaya. All right, let's get into some final thoughts. What can I say about Clionadh in general after this like palette showcase day? It's definitely a brand for playing, for having fun with your makeup, for having makeup playtime. If you want to do something creative and colorful and bring a little bit of whimsy into your everyday life, I think that Clionadh can absolutely provide that. At the same time, I also think that these eyeshadows are a way for those that are scared of color and those that are scared of multichromes to get started with both of them. I would say the way to go into these eyeshadows, if you are intimidated by them, is use them as one and done shadows. Just a little bit of shade in the crease. You can use really any neutral eyeshadow that you have, or even your bronzer. Give a little shade on the crease, go one and done, and that's it. Start there, and then you can build your level of comfort in terms of like mixing shades together, using toppers, and doing different things. Somehow, Clionadh has managed to balance both things, like give the edgy people what they want in terms of very adventurous, fun, multichrome shades, metallic shades that can be applied in the eyes with very little effort, but also make wearable, approachable, subtle shades that are still gonna have that magic of, you know, sparkly shades, multichrome shades, but not be as intimidating or out there if you are a beginner with makeup, or if you just want to keep things subtle, simple, and easygoing for every day, or just because you don't want your makeup to be super out there because it makes you uncomfortable or for whatever reason. What about you? Do you own any Clionadh eyeshadows? Are you going to be shopping the sale? Are you interested in anything at all? Is this kind of makeup something that you routinely do, or are these colors too out there for you? If you would have told me 4 years ago that I would be doing something like this on camera, or even ever, I would have told you absolutely not. There is no way. And here we are. And now I want like all the multichromes all the time, all over my eyeballs and my cheeks. And now apparently my lips. So again, the anniversary sale for Clionadh starts on August 23rd at 3 p.m. Eastern Time and ends at September 3rd at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. The Dragonfruit palette is part of the sale, and creator codes do stack. Again, I'm gonna put some links in the description box, but some of the creator codes that I will share, which you can stack with your sale discounts, are, I think maybe some of them might be affiliate codes. So I'm just sharing the codes for the sake of like providing the option, if you don't know someone that has a Clionadh code or you haven't seen one before, that you know which ones you can apply so that you can stack and get an even better discount. If you stayed until the end, thank you so much for joining me in this little palette showcase, I guess collection showcase of the Dragonfruit collection by Clionadh and Emily Violet Marie. I hope that you enjoyed the video and had fun looking at this palette showcase and how these shadows can be used in a really easy way. If you liked this video and found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed yet, you should subscribe. I make a fool of myself on the internet by putting sparkly shadows on my face. Sometimes I talk about very fast cars because I like racing, I like to watch it, and I like to find excuses to talk about things that I love. Have a wonderful day wherever you are, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.